Today on Tricro Studios, we do an amp head shootout between the Marshall DSL 100HR and the Marshall JCM 900 Dual Reverb 4100 series. Before you hit that intro music there, neither of these amps are a JCM 800. And the JCM 900 is not an SLX, which some people like. So very quickly, we have two sound samples. The first is both amp heads boosted with an Ibanez TS9. This follow right here is on the red channel. And the second sound sample, which we'll get into after the sound samples themselves, is both amps on the high gain channel or high gain setting. And this sucker right here is on the green channel. But I will ask that you hover over that thumbs down button, and you're gonna see before this is even released, there's already one of these guys on there. That's this guy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a button on the internet, and I pressed it on my own video. My feelings are hurt. I'm gonna tell you really quickly why. It's a little bit of a joke, but then after all the sound samples, I'll tell you why I actually thumbs down the video. So everyone's got their cursor hovered over the thumbs down. Thumbs down, you. Guy who knows everything about gear. Three dudes in the back there who haven't played high gain in probably about 15 years, but they know 3 letters and 3 numbers. Okay, we're ready. The JCM 900 uses diode clipping. DSL 100HR and the JCM 900 are not a JCM 800, which will give you an instant boner when you play it. It's the greatest heavy metal amp of all time and does not need a boost whatsoever. All kidding aside, let's go ahead and listen to the sound samples. Alright, so there you go. There are both sound samples, and the shootout here between the Marshall DSL 100HR, which is the second iteration of the Vietnamese line of the DSLs, and the JCM 900, so the dual reverb 4100 series. No, it's not an SLX. I love when I post a video with the JCM 900. You get two things. It's not a JCM 800. JCM 800 is the greatest amp of all time. Call me when you use a JCM 800. And the other one is, and it's the same thing every time. Is that an SLX or 4100 series? People like the SLX. It's not an SLX, guys. I'd probably buy an SLX. I like the JCM, sorry, I should say I actually love the JCM 900 for what it is. I'm not reaching for it all the time, but it scratches that itch when you need a specific sound, and this sucker does it. And let's talk about the DSL 100HR. The sound sample that I did in the non-boosted section, I hated it. I'm very sorry. This is why I thumbs down did the video. Anytime that I've posted a DSL 100HR video against another amp, I get the same thing. And here's my thought on it. And there's no reason as to why this should be happening. But some people, because this is a cheaper amp, whether it is, you know, that this is all they can afford, who cares? Or they're worried that this amp will look bad against another amp. This is a great amp, by the way. But they say the same thing. Yeah, so to get a really good high gain setting on the DSL 100HR, and like this is like probably about 20 people on like the Facebook thing and some comments on YouTube. Here's how you get a really good high gain setting. You're doing it wrong. So, first and foremost, the master, which I usually have set to about noon. The master should be between noon and 1. The channel volume should be set between 11 and noon. So if you're boosting it, it should be on the red channel. If it's not being boosted, it should be on the green channel. I agree. But that's where your volume should be on the channel. The tone shift should never be enabled. That's a horrible option, apparently. So again, this is for high gain. Then your resonance and bass should be curbed, because when you're increasing the volume, there's a lot more low end in it. And then your mids and your highs should be a little higher than normal, which is, like, you know what, could be my ears, I don't know. I think there's just a little more energy in it. So I like having my mids and my highs up a little higher. I like, to be honest, my bass around a little less than noon. But that's, I feel like it has a little more energy, and it could just be my ears or whatever. But that's the setting that I use. So a lot of people will say, because I don't use bedroom my amps, my cabinets are in another room. I save my hearing that way. And when I want to go, I just go into the other room. So I hear that you need to crank it hot, you know, like higher than a bedroom level. It's never at bedroom level. And the amp becomes more present. Okay, so I hope this doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. You should only have one feeling. But at least for me, the way that I was playing, if that's how you use your amp and it sounds good to you, then you're doing everything right. But for me, maybe it's just the way that I play. But it came across like it felt like it was a solid state amp when I was recording it. It could be that in the mix, everything sounds fine. But even when I previewed the mix, it came across like it sounded like it had a lot of solid state principles to it. Which, right now, there's at least 2 guys who are smarter than everybody else who are like, because of the diode clipping on the JCM 900, that's more like it's not a tube amp. But, I'm a jerk in this video. But, yeah, I used it, and I wasn't a big fan, so that's why I'm clicking one of these suckers there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you did enjoy the video. And, you know, I hope you did enjoy the non-boosted sound setting for the DSL 100. Stick it to the man!